Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Expert Reviews. We're here on Sand River with a 50 TP, a 50 prototype. So, oh god, no, my headphones have left me. Okay, let's see what we can read into this tank as we load in. Equipment setup seems fairly benign, regular consumables. We got vert stabs, a rammer, and a turbo in this setup. Hit points stand at 1,550, so we can tell that this vehicle is field modded, and the ability to switch equipment tells us that as well. So Sand River, turbo's probably magnetic, given the top speed of this vehicle is 35, not that great. I believe 14 in reverse, even more not that great. With a horsepower per ton ratio of 14.33, which is not awful. I'll tell you something quite good about this tank. 38 degrees a second traverse speed. That's really damn good for what it is, considering that on paper it has, 170 on the front of the hull, 90 at the side, 80 at the rear, and on the turret, 210 at the front, 150 at the side, and 100 at the rear. It's not a lightly armoured tank. It's not a light tank at all. 59 tons it can weigh up to. It's a behemoth of a heavy, wielding, is it a 127mm gun? No, it is a 122, but with 440 alpha damage. 218mm a pen with a standard AP, going up to 248 with APCR. 68mm a pen with HE. I wonder if we'll get to see any of that. Now, it's fair to say you may have got yourself into a spot of bother here, my friend. You have gone really far away from your network of support at this point. One thing it might be worth doing, maybe, is seeing if you can take the combat around this location. Gives you moderate cover from RT and crossfire from people like the LT and the VK if you bring the enemy around here, right? That does risk people coming up here and shooting you, but this lay of the land gives you a decent bit of cover from that. Let's just quickly go through gun stats of this vehicle. 4.23 rounds per minute. We cover pen, 218, 245, and 68. 440, 440, and then 560. But 0.4 accuracy with a 3-second aim time. This gun certainly doesn't do any favours in the stabilisation or the aiming department, at least. What else can we say before shit hits the fan here? I mean, you're still going. Okay, this is an interesting position if you're going to go to the right here, because in essence, you kind of got your back to a wall here, which when you're outnumbered, that is your desire, right? You want to have your back to a wall so that you can face all up-and-comers. Now, this is not a nice position to be in. Now, can you overmatch anywhere on the roof of that Patriot? I'm not actually sure. Let me go and have a look. Okay, I'm back, and good news, yes, you absolutely can. This entire area right here is 25.4mm. So, sat here with a 122mm gun, yes, absolutely, you can overmatch that. Now, what is this Patriot looking at? He's looking at 110mm of armor on the upper and the lower plate. Now, on the lower plate, the effective is about 175. On the upper plate, it's about 334. Yep, that is a bouncy upper glacis. Now, this box that you can see here isn't really a weak spot. It's 170 base, but with an effective most of the time of about 235, somewhere around there. Now, the roof here, this is 40mm, so while you can overmatch it with anything above a 120mm gun, this good old Patriot, which I believe has a 90mm, will not be able to exploit that. We do have Cupolas, which are 75 base with an effective value of about 160. Alright, so that's what this Patriot is looking at. Let's see if we overmatch the target. Going for the hole there, the shot should be on the target. There you go. That's absolutely gorgeous. Simple overmatch. Now, the DPM of this thing, 1,935. I like what you're doing with your tank here. Trying to lock it up against the locks. Gonna potentially put an angle on your lower plate such that you can actually bounce the 230mm of APCR from this Patriot. Let's hold down against you here. Now, the DPM of the Patriot is really, really good, so it's going to be problematic, and as I say, DPM here, 1,939, not good at all. Clipping the cupola there, very nice shot to see, and this Patriot's not feeling so good about matters. Let's just have a quick investigation, because I think we might be able to learn a bit from Mr. Patriot here. Now, he's got to look at that and think, okay, what's happening there? That's got to be an overmatch. And from that, he can say, okay, this guy can overmatch my target. How can I stop him doing that? Well, use more gun depression, right? So if we're here, we can see the top of his target. But if he's using more gun depression to shoot us, all of a sudden, we can no longer get the shot onto his target. It's become a lot slimmer. Right, because he's now above us. Shots easier here, harder here. So what he wants to do is try and tilt himself up on this land in such a way that we can't see the overmatchable portion of his target. We'll see if he does that, but that's certainly something you want to consider in this situation. Now, got a Type 61 on the left here. You got a Type 58 coming this way. I mean, Patriot is certainly priority at this point. Can still fish for that overmatch. That's wonderful. Leave the Type 58. Got a prioritized kill on that Patriot if he lets you have it. Doesn't look like he does. Okay, probably now safe to put the shot in, but maybe save it for the Patriot. May have been worth saving for the Patriot. Type 58 still bouncing. It'd be lovely to have the shot here. Oh! Nice save by the SU-5. Finds the cupola shot on the Type 58. Really foolish play about the Type 58 there. If he has just stayed up here, you'd be dead. So that's something. Might be worth loading a HE shell here. Type 64 based on the hull of the Hellcat. Let me tell you, it's not going to stand up to 68mm of HE pen. But where's that Super Hellcat? Last seen on the map behind you, is he going to pop up with a 90mm shell for your anus? And HE shell is being loaded. Wonderful. Suitable for the Super Hellcat, suitable for the Type 64. Now, one thing that we should observe is that we're missing a Pantera, which would scare me greatly at this point. Where is the Pantera? Was he camping in their base? Because he's going to see a tank like this, right? Clip potential of a Pantera is 720. Oh, this would be lovely if you can make it. Unfortunate. He's going to see a 50 TP well within his clip potential, and he's going to be hungry to come and violate your booty. So I would be very, very concerned about occupying this position. You are incredibly isolated here. But at the moment, there's no feasible way that you can kind of get any support. If you go down here, you're actually just sacrificing high ground because there's no TDs on your hill. Right? Nashorn's all the way back here. You'd have to go all the way to here to try and get support of that Nashorn. So at this point, it is the right play to stay in this high ground area, I think. Just because if you go low, it risks people coming above you. So, interesting circumstance. Admittedly, one that you probably shouldn't have got into to begin with, but Hey-ho. Now, we know there was an IKV spotted, and that Pantera has been spotted as well on the south of the map. No hesitation on this corner. You are likely to be able to mitigate the IKV's incoming fire with the frontal armor of this tank. And when you're loading an AEP shell benefited by intuition, right decision, picks up the GW Panther, one arty out of the equation. 380 meters of base view range on this tank, and was indeed outspotted by a Hummel, but picks him up now. Hummel doesn't move during almost the entirety of that 3-second aim time that this gun gives you. And no word from the IKV. Whereabouts has this man got off to? You want to watch your sixth sense like a hawk here, because the IKV's counter-hunting is pretty damn good. One thing that might be worth doing right now is sneaking up on this side. Right? It presents you more or less the same shots that you're going to get from where it looks like you're going to go in here, but doesn't risk the IKV being up in this location. Also gives you more foliage cover and more hard cover. So if you're going into this land, I much more favour this position. We shall see. Grinding steadily forward, trying to put that 14.33 horsepower per ton through its paces, looking presumably for this super Hellcat. But doesn't want to waste any time occupying this position. Now, the aggression at this point is still magneted. You've still got a little bit of power to assert. And where did that spot come from? IKV on the ridge line. Okay, magneted blind fire. But, I did say magneted blind fire, but as I said it, I was thinking, maybe not, because, and I was about to say, there might be someone on this corner, and indeed, there is. Now, this is a profoundly difficult situation. We know that the IKV is still going to have shots at you in this location. The Pantera likely should kill you. I do not see how you get out of this situation. Either you get pummeled by the Pantera. Pantera looks like he's got one more, and somehow bounces it. I do not know how. You would think turning in this location would have got you killed by the IKV, but it looks like the IKV may be struggling to find a shot here. That is magical. I don't know if that positioning is deliberate, but it's lovely either way. Alright, so what do you do when you're being flanked by a Pantera? Pantera, by the way, 1,000 horsepower engine. It's a very gutsy tank, so even with the good traverse speed of this thing, at 38 average of all the soft, medium, hard, you're not going to keep up with him. What you can do is consider turning your tank the other way, because it forces him to reverse. But I would only do that after he's come up and over, and he's going downhill, because it's harder for him to brake and reverse direction. But oh my word. Okay, reversing towards the map border. You saw that cheeky little look behind him? Surely the Pantera kills him here. Surely. Side tank. No. Bounce. And going back towards the map border. I love this awareness. That's absolutely gorgeous. And now the Pantera has found himself in a very sticky situation. Can no longer flank. Very lucky to come out of that engagement alive, but also some very good positional play to give yourself the best chance. Which is all you can do in that situation, right? It's all you can do to try and give yourself the best possible chance of coming out on top. Now at this point, when you're outnumbered, you do want to keep your awareness up. You want to know if people are coming in for you. We've got 3 in the cap, potentially more than 3. I can't remember if it shows 20 plus, or whether it just says 3, because I know 3 tanks cap the fastest. Doesn't matter if you have more than 3, you can't cap any faster. Now, this is an encounter battle, which does mean we do have a bit more time to work on this cap. But we are fraternizing with some dangerous situations here. That TNH, last time we saw him, was on full health. Now, it seems a fitting time to mention the gun depression quirks of this tank. Whilst in some places it may say 10 on paper, that 10 is only on the side of the vehicle. Yeah, over the side of this vehicle, you have 10 degrees of gun depression. Exceptional. Over the front, you have 8, and over the rear, you have 4. So bear that in mind, because it's extremely relevant in situations like this. Aiming over the side, you're gonna get that shot far quicker than you otherwise would. Patriot, bit of a snapshot, but you had the side of an American tank, and that is a situation in which you would take an early shot. IKV busy picking up the SU-8. Oh, bit bold there. Patriot was sitting out in the open. Remember, priority right now. Priority. How do you prioritize in this situation? Well, wait, did I say that was a Patriot? It's a TNH. I'm dumb. Okay, so the TNH has been reset, so you don't focus him because they are about to cap. Based on your load on the 50 TP, 13.61. You need to prioritize damage into either the Patriot or the CS right now. I would consider loading a HE just because of the tension of the situation. One reset should be enough for this Panther M10 to get onto the range line and offer you some help. We shall see. Reset Patriot, gorgeous. That's another consideration to be made. If the cap wasn't so problematic in that situation, the other consideration is which of these tanks can close on me, alright? I am very close to a one-shot. Which of these tanks is dangerous? Which of them, if they decided to charge towards me, would have a fair shot at killing me? The Patriot is fairly fast, the Type 58 is fairly fast, the TNH is not. So that's another way that you could look at prioritizing this situation. And now, being held down in this vehicle has got to feel good. Can you get a HE pen? Don't need it. CS-44, certainly not known for its armor. Remember the gun depression over the side of this vehicle. 2 degrees better than it is over the front. You want to be using it here. Or you want to be being patient for that Panther M10. Now the cap at this point is no longer a threat. It's no longer a viable win con for the enemy team. And that is a big old juicy cupola right there. 0.4 accuracy, not doing you any favours. Panther M10's taking a bit of a beating, but he is coming in from the side. Look at that camo. Amazing. Does get the hit, does get the reset. Gorgeous. Can you threaten him enough that he dives to the Panther M10's angle? Yes, indeed. How splendid. Top gun for our 50 TP here. 5k damage. Now, he is a one-shot for that IKV if he's using the top gun. Actually, I think if he's using any gun. But the Panther M10 has more health. So I'd like to see you going back here and grouping up with this M10. And this is potentially that IKV has 6 kills, so we can assume that he knows what he's doing here. Potential for 2 different tanks to go for their Radley Walters medals here, both the IKV and the 50 TP. And yeah, we saw a very deliberate effort here to group back up with the Panther M10, not isolating yourself, going with your last remaining ally, which is what you want to do, especially in this situation. Now, Panther M10 versus Panther M10. 50 TP versus IKV. Now, the 50GP, at least frontally, the majority of the time is not going to be hugely threatened by these tanks. So once you know where they are, the aggression can come out from you, certainly. But it's a question. 4 minutes left. Takes over 3 minutes to cap with 1. And it looks like... oh, it takes over 4 minutes. Holy crap. Panther M10 just gets into the cap in time. So if he is uninterrupted, he will win within 4 minutes. And this is a merited position in my mind. It gives good vision on the lunch line, which is a likely place for the enemy to poke. We know that earlier that IKV was using this position, and people are fond of positions of reusing positions that they have used before. Now that spot, I would imagine, came from the IKV in this location, potentially. That would be my guess. Either that, or poking up on an edge in this location here. It's annoying that we were so far up, because it gives us fewer options of where he could have spotted us from. I highly doubt he's spotting us from the right side. And now it's just about patience. Okay, IKV on the left side. You can use your gun definition here. Panther M10 is not that threatening because you can take a hit. Right? You can take a hit from the Panther M10, and at this point that gives you knowledge. So if you wanted to poke for the over the side with your 10 degrees of gun definition for the side shot on the IKV, potentially it tells you where the Panther M10 is if he's on the range and gets a shot into you. So I'd say worth doing right now. And you're going to see the 10 degrees of gun definition feeling very good. Low roll, unfortunately. But yeah, side of the tank, it feels so much more pleasant poking over ranges. Panther M10 isn't showing himself at all. 0.4 accuracy does hold up. Okay, there's the Panther. Ping it on the map, my boy. Turn to face it, ping it on the map, communicate it. Lovely. Good to see, good to see. Alright. At this point, you don't dual pressure cap at this point, do you? I'd be progressing on this land here. Gives you a better chance of getting information if this Panther M10 is going out. You can take a hit, remember. So, yeah, going high here gives you better information. As it happens, Panther M10 going for our Panther in the cap, which is most likely gonna get him a shot from this 122mm gun for the 8th kill, the Gladly Waters medal, and a fine game indeed, even if an unorthodox one, certainly by the play that we started off with. Majorly isolated, but in a top tier heavy tank with some foolish plays by the enemy team, you're well positioned to capitalize. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like your replay commented on, then send it to replays.wallst@yahoo.co.uk. You can find that email in the description. Thank you so much, and farewell.
You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed from half a globe away. But don't worry mate, he's sorry you could have known though, it's all the same story, you better not berate him. He is living in the country next to the US with oil fields.